Most riders are wearing out their engines faster than they need to. But why is that? Well, this is a hybrid. It's famous for two things. The first being above average fuel economy, the second being above average engine wear. And this is a scooter with the now discontinued idle stop. It was also known for, be it marginal, but better emissions, and, yet again, notably accelerated engine wear. Now why is this, and how does it relate to you hurting your bike? Or car for that matter? Well, on my Transalp, Honda decided against an oil sight glass in favor of a less accurate and more cumbersome dipstick. So once again, we turn to Johannes and his CRF 250L to look at his oil sight glass. With the engine off, you can see all the oil down here in the sump. Then, after starting the bike, slowly but surely, the oil disappears up into the engine. Then once again, after I had him shut the bike off, you can see the sump fill back up with oil. So what does that all mean? Well, if your sump is full of oil, that means your engine is not. So when you start your engine, for some amount of time, it's metal on metal till the pump gets the oil up into the engine. But some riders make this much worse than it has to be. If you start your engine and immediately accelerate like a hybrid or a scooter with idle stop, now you are adding extra pressure, extra heat, extra friction, and faster piston movement before the oil gets a chance to get back up to the engine. And for many others, it's actually even worse than that. You see, oil is a liquid like water, but it isn't water. The good news is, unlike water, motorcycle oil doesn't freeze, assuming you store your bike above negative 195 centigrade or minus 320 Fahrenheit. The bad news, however, is that cold or hot water both flow pretty much the same. Oil, not so much. Ever wonder why you're not supposed to change your oil until it's hot? This is a video that I made not too long ago that's not too far off the point we're trying to make now. But to stay on topic, that's one reason my old 1982 CB650 didn't like me that much in the winter. To go back to Johannes' sight glass, this is his bike at running temperature. But earlier in the day, after our lunch break on that mountaintop with sub-freezing temperatures, the oil would have had much slower movement in and out of the oil sump. This all means that for winter rides, your cold oil takes even longer to get to the engine and then even longer still to warm up to a good viscosity for peak performance. Perhaps another story for another time, but this does play into efficiency as well. Cold oil is sluggish, so your engine has to work harder to move, and your catalytic converter doesn't work so well when it's cold. That all goes to say, the first few moments after your engine starts running has dramatically worse efficiency, both in terms of environmental impact and power output, trying to get up to running temperatures, typically around 80 degrees centigrade or 176 degrees Fahrenheit on most modern bikes. This wasn't such a problem for carbureted and air-cooled bikes by the very nature of needing to sit and warm them up while you play with your knob and wake up the neighbors every morning. But now, in the age of fuel injection, most of us just hit the start button and twist the throttle. This all having been said, waiting for your oil to get moving is far more critical in the winter, but to you, my fair-weathered friends, even in the summer. A stopped engine, warm or cold, still has zero oil anywhere but the sump, and even if it's 40 degrees Celsius or over 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside, the stopped engine oil isn't yet at its ideal temperature. So, be it not as bad as in the winter, it is still not close to peak lubricating capacity. So what is it that we all need to be doing before riding? Well, I don't try to be that guy telling other people how to live their lives, so feel free to ruin your engine at your own rate and then blame the manufacturer. That said, for those that do want our engines to last at peak running, start the bike and let it warm up. A great way to do this, and what I typically do, is start the bike, then put my helmet on, then put my gloves on, so that I can kill time while it's warming up and putting the oil in the engine instead of resting cold in the sump. If you don't have a temperature gauge or don't trust your temperature gauge, holding the back of your hand about 1 to 2 centimeters away from the cylinder wall, or give or take an inch, and not touching it, you should feel a reasonable bit of heat coming off it. That should tell you that you're okay, assuming you of course have oil in the engine, which sometimes it burns all up and people don't check their oil often enough. But then you can start riding. On the other hand, for those of you who do have a temperature gauge and are not afraid of trusting technology, a minimum of 49 degrees Celsius or 120 degrees Fahrenheit on the engine temperature gauge, if you are truly in a genuine rush and don't have time to wait, is the minimum standard that I personally see as acceptable. If, however, you were just bit by a rattlesnake, feel completely free to skip the entire warm-up process altogether. That said, a true minimum standard would be around 65 degrees Celsius or 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, to be clear, that does not mean go max power full throttle right away. Give it a few more minutes of riding gently because you still need to warm up the chain, the tires, and the brakes. Then, remembering closer to 80 degrees Celsius, i.e. 176 Fahrenheit, and not too much over 100 Celsius or 212 in Fahrenheit, is the ideal running temperature for your oil and overall engine. Mind you, I'm generalizing for the average road bike, so this is a perfect time to consult your owner's manual for your personal bike. Once you've reached those points, ride your own ride, as hard and fast as you feel comfortable, safe, and of course, legal. None of us break the law. But taking this minor precaution that a surprising number of bikers don't take will make your bike, or car for that matter, run much better for much longer. Though, longevity is more a favor to the next owner, as most of us, myself included, are replacing perfectly good bikes every few years because the algorithm showed us something new and shiny, all to get more debt than we can afford to flex on the internet for people we've never met. And to the holier-than-thou commenter talking down to everyone as if they should have been born knowing all this kind of information, everyone learns everything for the first time to them. Someone watching right now just got their license today, and now it's their turn to learn all of this for the first time. Just like you did, back when university degrees cost less per year than you made at your summer job. But please, I don't take down comments or limit anyone's free speech, but do try to be nice to one another. It's not all bots on here. Some of the comments are from real people with real questions and concerns who are really looking for help. And remember to like, share, and subscribe if you got any value or if you think there's anyone out there that could get value from this video, because those interactions help YouTube spread this video around. And if you can, check out my Patreon where you can see all my videos like this one up to 2 months before posting them on YouTube, and some videos that never go public for one reason or another, all available only on my Patreon. All with the added benefits of knowing you helped me feed my kids 3 meals a day, making it financially realistic to make more videos in the future. But till next time, warm up your bikes, and in 4 years, when the technology evolves, feel free to get mad at me in the comments section over my inability to predict the future. All the best, I'll see you next time, and now turn off the internet and go actually ride your bike.